it's like I'm almost sitting next to like a power line or something. Yeah, same thing.
And this edition of the TV-46 high school basketball game of the week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Demetrius Jackson Court in Mishawaka as we get you ready for Penn and Marian in a girls basketball showdown tonight here in the Princess City. Time now to look at our Jordan Automotive keys to win. We'll start with the Penn Lady Kingsmen, who are led in scoring by 5'11" senior forward Jada Patton. Patton averages 9 points and 6 rebounds a game. She's committed to play at the University of Indianapolis next season at the Division II level. And she's joined on the floor by the talented sophomore Lauren Walsh, the move-in from North Carolina, averaging a little over 7 points a game, but she also leads the team in assists and steals. She's a high-energy player for Christy Ulrich's squad. What are the keys to win for Penn tonight, Bob?
Well, they got to play with poise, Chuck. They're kind of a young team, but you got to play like your seniors if you can. They got 32 minutes of consistent effort, and they can't have a letdown, and they won't. They play all the time, 32 minutes. They got to hit some shots. They got to find a hot shooter if they can. They got to work the ball inside, and transition will be big for them. Christy Ulrich in her 13th season with Penn, and she is really, really patient with this young team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we lost all 5 starters last year to graduation, and they're all playing college basketball right now. But, you know, we have a group of girls that are really working hard out there on the court together. So, you know, we're going to keep trusting the process and continue to grow each game throughout the season this year to get us ready for the state tournament.
Meanwhile, the Marian Lady Knights have a dynamic duo, both among the top scorers in the state of Indiana. We'll start you off with Nevaeh Foster, who is only 21 points away from becoming the all-time leading girls basketball scorer at Marian High School. The 5'9" junior is committed to Western Kentucky. She scores 22 points and averages 6 rebounds a game. But the leading scorer on this team in terms of scoring average is Micaiah Porter, the 6-foot junior, 22.5 points a game, 10.5 rebounds a game. She also leads the team with 16 block shots, so it gives Steve Scott a nice outside-inside combination. The keys to win for the Marian Knights.
Well, the Knights can't have any breakdowns of defense. They got to keep up their intensity the whole game. They got to rebound. They can't let Hoover sweep the board, so to speak. And they got to get good shots on offense. Good shots a lot of times come from good assists, and that'll be key tonight. Steve Scott, the veteran coach, is in his 19th season, and you talk about a couple of top players on his roster, and so does he.
Yeah, Foster is just a knockdown shooter, can create her own shot. Porter does like a little bit of everything. Very good shooter also, but doesn't quite play the same way as Vea. Great driver, and I call her a matchup nightmare. Because if you put someone small on her, she can take you down and post you. If you put someone big on her, she can take you to the basket.
2 very talented teams, 2 very efficient coaches. It should be a fun one to watch. Girls basketball tonight on TV-46. Those have been our Jordan Automotive keys to win. The tip-off is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, on November 23rd against the Gymtown Jimmies, Marian Porter went coast to coast in the first half to reach the 1,000-point mark for her career. She becomes the second overall player in the Marian girls basketball program to reach this prestigious honor. Everybody, please join us in congratulating Marian on this terrific accomplishment. And now, please stand for a pregame prayer and then the playing of our national anthem. We begin our prayer, as with all prayers, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God our Father, we gather here in your name and ask that the Holy Spirit be with us. We're thankful for the many blessings and gifts that you have bestowed upon all of your sons and daughters. Most of all, we're thankful today for the gift of our bodies and minds, that in our activities we may use them to give greater glory to you, who loves us above all things. Through the intercession of Mary and all the saints, may we be protected from all harm and inspired to follow the path of holiness day in and day out. We ask this in the name of Jesus, your Son, our Lord. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And now please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Terra Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. The Penn Lady Kingsmen have come to Demetrius Jackson Court tonight to take on the Marian Knights. It's time now for the starting lineups. Here's Bob Nagel.
Well, thank you, partner. The Penn starting lineup includes Lauren Walsh. She wears number 10. She's a 5'7" sophomore guard. Also in that starting lineup, Jada Patton wears number 24. She's a 5'11" senior forward. Sydney Little is a 5'8" senior guard. She wears number 30. Number 44 is Gabby Hoover. She's a 6'2" senior. And in the starting lineup tonight is a 5'8" senior, number 14, Peyton Adkins at guard for Penn. Now for the Marian Knights, number 3 is Kendall Bethel. She's a 5'4" senior. She'll start at guard. Micaiah Porter is a 6-foot junior, wears number 11. She will start at a forward. Nevaeh Foster is a 5'9" junior guard. She wears number 14. Peyton Rangel is a 5'6" senior guard, wears number 24. And in that starting lineup for the Marian Knights tonight, Hannah Birch. She's a 5'10" senior.
The two coaches met at center court earlier. Steve Scott on the left, Christy Ulrich on the right. Between them, almost, well, actually, exactly 550 career wins. The series history, from what we can trace back to 2000, Marian has never beaten Penn. The last year we had it for you on 46. Kingsman won 64-43.
St. Andrews Products brings you a check on the uniforms for tonight's game. The Marian Knights, the home team, will be in their white uniforms with blue and silver trim. Penn will be in their road black uniforms with gold and white trim. These teams are looking good tonight, and so can your team. St. Andrews Products has the finest in apparel as well as promotional products. Reach them at sales@standrewscorp.com. Here's Chuck Fraby with tonight's play-by-play.
Marian wins the opening tip. The Knights come in with a record of 8-2 on the season, averaging 64 points a game. Their best win came at St. Joe when they won 72-64. Their losses to South Bend, Washington, and Noblesville. Penn opening up in a 2-3 zone, it appears, although it might be a sagging man-to-man. Kendall Bethel, and now 11, that's Micaiah Porter on the outside. Cross court it goes to Peyton Rangel. Porter needs some help. There's Nevaeh Foster.
Everybody getting a touch for Marian in its first possession.
Foster working on Sydney Little. Porter had it poked away by Little. Here comes Penn. Kingsmen are 7-3 on the year. They're only averaging 48 points a game, but defensively holding opponents to just 31 points a game. Their losses to Lake Central, South Bend, Washington, and they fell to #1 Crown Point. Inside, Lauren Walsh travels. First turnover of the game goes against the Kingsmen.
The only stat we have so far, 2 turnovers.
So we played 1:20, no score, not even a shot at this point. Full court pressure offered by Penn as they do their best to disrupt this dynamic Marian team. Kendall Bethel outside. Micaiah Porter. Now Rangel. Coming down the lane is Foster. She got bumped, no call. Here comes Penn. Hoover will put it up from 15. The back iron no good, but the rebound comes to Peyton Adkins and the Lady Kingsmen. Played 2 minutes, no score. Lauren Walsh with a nice move, went down the lane for 2. Walsh, who averages 7 points a game, gets the first bucket of this one and puts Penn in front.
Just a sophomore, but she does a lot of things like a veteran. She's a very talented young player.
Kendall Bethel for 3 is off the mark, and the rebound to Jada Patton. Penn looks like it wants to run. Hoover at the other end made a nice catch, but couldn't control it enough to put the shot up. Atkins for 3. Rims out. Battle for the loose ball, out of bounds to Marian. But remember, we told you off the top, Marian averages 66 points a game, and right now they got a bagel through the first 2:38, which is frustrating the veteran coach Steve Scott.
Well, you knew they were going to see some intense defense for Penn, and they're picking up three-quarter court.
Nevaeh Foster finds Peyton Rangel in the corner for 3, but she airballed it out of bounds off the hands of Walsh, and Marian will retain possession.
Rangel is a senior.
On
Had
the
a good
inbound.
look. She had a good look there, Chuck.
There's Kendall Bethel outside. Now Porter for 3. Ring it up. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. Micaiah Porter hits just her 7th three-pointer of the season, but it's enough to give Marian the lead. Jada Patton from 15. Off the mark, and the rebound to Porter. Porter averaging a double-double this year. 22.5 points and 10.5 rebounds per game.
First rebound for the Marian Knights tonight.
Bethel with the left hand. There's Porter again. Thought about the 3. Hoover came out a little further this time. Hannah Birch with her first touch of the night along the baseline. Now Porter turns and scores. Porter had a big game against Noblesville on Saturday. 27 points and 16 rebounds that kept Marian in that contest against the #1 team in 4A.
That was a good offensive set by Marian. They moved the ball, finally got an opportunity for Porter to get some room, and now Penn does the same thing.
Great high-low action with Gabby Hoover feeding Sydney Little for her first basket of the game. Little averaging 8 points a contest. Bethel, by the time she thought about the three, the 6'2" Hoover was out there. Porter now working on Hoover. And she's fouled. It'll be charged to Lauren Walsh, the first on her and the first on the Kingsmen.
Are you looking for an extraordinary team, want to work hard and have fun? Then you may be just the person to join the Chick-fil-A team. If you're looking for a job with competitive wages, complimentary meals, employee discounts, and provided team member uniforms, stop into Chick-fil-A in South Bend. Ask for an application or go online at chickfil-a.com/South Bend. Chick-fil-A in South Bend looks forward to having you on their team. You can also give them a call at 968-0351. That's 968-0351. They fed our crew tonight, did a great job.
Foster misfired for Marian. Patton misfires for Penn. Foster at the other end throws something up wildly, and Walsh stepped out of bounds, or was there a foul? Looks like she stepped out of bounds, and so Marian will get the ball back. .246 to go, first quarter. Knights by 1. Rangel triggers the inbound to Porter. Hoover has done a really good job up top, but she got the bucket and the bump over her anyway. Wow. Micaiah Porter with all 7 so far for Marian, and these two were very hard-earned, as you'll look again on the 46 replay.
Foul on Hoover. Boy, she was right there. She had a good hand in her face. Came down a little past parallel, but what a shot by Porter.
Porter's free throw sponsored by Christensen Furniture. She misses, but somebody was in the lane too soon, so that won't count. She'll get another try.
Carl K. Memorials wants to wish the Marian Knights good luck in tonight's game. Great season of basketball. Go Knights. Because you care, we care. That's Carl K. Memorials.
69% foul shooter. Has all 8 of the Marian points. And it's an 8-4 lead. Now Marian with some full court pressure to try to make Penn work, and it forced the turnover. Rangel comes the other way, and she calmed it. So the carry called on Rangel, and Penn will go to its deep bench here and make a couple of substitutions, putting in Julia Economou, as well as Jesselyn Troy. Troy, a 5'6" freshman.
One thing that Christy Elrich is doing is investing in some of her younger players, getting them that experience that'll pay off in the future.
Jada Patton with the ball right now. Will take it back out by half court. Atkins threw it behind Walsh. Economou feeds Patton, who was hacked in the act, and will go to the line for 2. You get another look on the 46 Sports replay. The Penn post players all pass the ball very well, including Economou right there. Call the foul on Megan McCormick. That's her first. And so Jada Patton, a 74% free throw shooter, goes to the line for 2. Patton has been in double figures her last 3 games. Her season high came in a win at Adams, where she scored 17. Those are her first 2 of the night, and it's a 2-point ball game. At the other end, Bethel was trying to get a transition hoop, but threw it away.
Turnover number 4 for Marian. Chuck Marian has 1 player on the scoring column. Penn now with 3.
There's Troy across the timeline. Good ball movement. Economou for 3. Off the mark. Battle for the rebound, and Economou is called for the foul. So that'll be the first on Julia and the third on Christy Ulrich and the Lady Kingsmen. Ulrich with a magnificent 284-39 record in her 13th year.
Hard to figure those numbers, some of the best numbers in the history of women's basketball, girls basketball in Indiana. She's among the tops.
She has 8 straight 20-win seasons. Nevaeh Foster up top. Now Rangel, pull up 3, way off the mark, but it was like a pass. McCormick missed the bunny underneath. Here comes Penn the other way. Walsh with a nice hesitation dribble, gets it inside to Economou for 2. Terrific assist from Lauren Walsh, and we're tied at 8. Foster yet to get on track, whips it down low, and the foul is called against Penn, and it'll send Shayla Alexander to the line.
Alexander got a little banged up, but didn't seem to be hesitant at all about going inside.
Alexander playing with a broken nose that she suffered the other night. As the foul's called on Economou, that's quickly her second.
Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where the employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's the chance, because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family and get the $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHOR.com.
So the 2 free throws sponsored by Christensen Furniture go in for Alexander. And it's a 10-8 Marian lead. Patton down the lane. Couldn't get the teardrop to go, but put her own rebound up and in. Jada Patton now with 4. And the scoring picking up late in the first quarter. Peyton Rangel. Alexander, now Foster for 3. That's off the mark. Good hustle by McCormick. Shortest player on the court got the loose change. Steve Scott wants to hold for 1 shot.
Penn leading on the boards 5-3 right now.
You see the clock, bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Alexander to Porter for 3. Ball popcorns around, and that's the way the first quarter ends. A very balanced first quarter on both sides. For Penn, Lauren Walsh was able to get them on the scoreboard, but it was the scoring of Micaiah Porter. 8 of Marian's 10 points so far were knotted up after 1 on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. And Bo Hunt comfortable down on the sidelines tonight as he joins us for a Bill's Heating sideline report. Your thoughts on this one through the first quarter, my friend?
Well, with Penn, with their defense, I think one of the biggest things is, you talked about it earlier, they're playing that man, but they're kind of sagging a little bit, but they're putting pressure on Porter and Foster. I think that's the biggest thing. They're trying to make other girls make the shots and come up big, and so far it hasn't happened. Marian's offense, on the other hand, they need to be a little bit more patient. They're trying to take a little bit too quick of a shot, whereas Penn is really working for that good shot underneath and really trying to get layups every time, and I think that's why we have a 10-10 game right now, guys.
And it honestly hasn't taken Penn that long to get those good shots when they've had possessions, Bob. We've had plenty of shots so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, we've had good free throw shooting by both teams. Nobody's missed one yet, but Chuck, one of the big things about Penn, they're 4 out of 10 from the field. And from 3-point range, they've taken 2 shots, but haven't made them, but they're not relying on the 3.
Porter was fouled on the way up after she got the steal. We'll get another look at it here. So we remind you, our first quarter was brought to you by Wolverine Mutual Insurance, and our second quarter is being brought to you by Wolverine Mutual Insurance. They will call the foul on Jada Patton. That's her first. And it'll send Micaiah Porter to the foul line.
Coaches always say if you're going to foul, make sure they don't get the shot off. She made sure of that right there.
Porter, an all NIC selection. This is the first. She's a transfer from Elkhart Central. That's when she transferred away. Obviously, that's Elkhart now. Where she was the Elkhart Truth Player of the Year her freshman year. Missed them both, and Walsh gets the rebound. Penn with a chance to take its first lead since the opening basket of the contest. Patton goes charging in there, got the ball back, and then goes up strong but misses with the left. Rangel comes out of there with the rebound. Bethel will reset things. Porter tried to feed Foster and instead threw it away.
5 turnovers for Marian, 3 for Penn.
Walsh for 3, airballs it, but Patton's right there and is fouled on the way up by Porter, her first. Well, we've seen a couple of airballs turn into passes tonight, and when Patton was able to collect that one, she was a physical mismatch for Micaiah Porter.
She was indeed. She's got another opportunity to get to the free throw line.
And this is the first. Jada Patton started her career at Granger Christian School. Penn will go back to its bench. Sydney Little comes back in. And we also see Gracie Bobo come into the lineup, a 5'10 senior. Both free throws missed, but Penn gets the offensive rebound. Sydney Little threw it away. Here's Bethel. All the way down with the left, and it goes. Kendall Bethel with her first basket of the night puts Marian back in front. Intercepted by Alexander, but she tried to throw it, and Hoover knocked it right back at her.
Both teams with 6 turnovers in the early going.
Gabby Hoover with the left hand misses. The rebound to Peyton Rangel. And she just lost it out of bounds on her own. Timeout will be taken by the Penn Lady Kingsmen. 6:22 to go, first half. Marian on top of Penn, 12-10 of 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Wolverine Mutual Insurance, protecting you and your family for generations.
State Senator Ryan Mishler is a proud supporter of high school athletics and wants to wish the Knights good luck in tonight's game and all season long. Senator Ryan Mishler says, "Go Knights."
12-10 Marian lead. 6:22 to go here in the first half. Both teams pretty sloppy in the first 100 seconds of this second quarter. We'll see if things settle down after the timeout called by Penn. Gabby Hoover able to get back the deflected pass. Gracie Bobo for 3. That's off the mark as well. Knocked out of bounds by Marian. It went off Foster.
Marian with 7 rebounds, Penn with 10.
Little will trigger the inbound pass. And the 3 on the way by Creech is off the mark. Here's Micaiah Porter down the lane. That wild shot won't go, and it goes out of bounds off Alexander.
Knights trying to push the pace, but Penn has been equal to it.
Meanwhile, Jada Patton running, sprinting to the locker room down there. And she has been Penn's leading scorer not only on the season, but in the game tonight. Here's a 3 on the way by Jesselyn Troy. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. And the freshman puts Penn in front.
They've had that corner shot available, finally made one.
Bethel misfires. And here comes Penn again. Down low, they'll go to Hoover. She tried to feed Little, and it went off her leg and out of bounds.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed many things in our world, but not the love, dedication, and commitment that the Marian High School faculty and staff have for providing a Catholic education. Marian students learn with humility, serve with compassion, and lead with integrity in the classroom, on the athletic fields, and in the community. Learn more about becoming a Knight by visiting the website at marianhs.org. For more information, go Knights from Marian High School.
A very aggressive 2-3 zone by Penn, but Rangel tried to shoot over it, couldn't hit. The rebound to Porter. Bethel open for three, connects. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. Kendall Bethel's 8th three-pointer of the season puts Marian back in front.
Marian has had some key offensive rebounds tonight.
Here's Creech for three. That's an air ball. Porter racing the other way, threw it behind Foster and out of bounds. Marian will go to its bench and put Grace O'Hara into the game, the 5'5" junior.
Folks, Christensen's Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and much more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style, and it's a great place to shop for that special Christmas gift.
Creech. Now Jesselyn Troy, and there's Lauren Walsh back in the game. Walsh for three. That's off the front rim. Here comes Bethel. She's got numbers. Bethel will take it all the way in with the left hand and score. Kendall Bethel already past her scoring average. She has 7, and Marian off to a 4-point lead.
We talked about Foster and Porter before the game and said the support staff, the support players, would have to contribute if they're going to get a win tonight. Bethel's certainly doing that.
And Christy Ulrich's team confused on offense. She'll take another 30-second timeout. 3:31 to go first half. Marian leads by 4 on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being sponsored by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV-46 for over 30 years. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Huff back with you at Demetrius Jackson Court, named after the former Marian All-Star who went on to a career at Notre Dame and then had a cup of coffee in the NBA, still trying to get back in there.
Played a lot of minutes overseas. It's done really well. Benefactor here for Marian High School. They redid the basketball court.
Pass stolen away. Here comes Nevaeh Foster, and she's got her first basket of the night. The 5'9" junior who averages over 22 points a game, now with 2, and Marian with its biggest lead. But Troy's 3 is off the mark. Here comes Porter. Marian really wants to push it here. Porter with a beautiful move down the lane for 2. She has 10. Christy Ulrich rotating all kinds of combos in there, trying to find one that'll score. Right now, Penn's just throwing the ball away needlessly.
Chuck, in that first quarter, I mentioned that Penn had only taken 2 3-point shots. They have taken 7 here in the second quarter and only hit 1.
And that great ball movement that we were seeing down in the high-low game, non-existent here in the second quarter. Hannah Birch lost the handle on the ball. And now we've got a held ball called by David Wolford. Alternating possession will give it to Marian.
Hardware Plus is a proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
Outside to Porter for three. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. Micaiah Porter with 13, and Marian has an 11-point lead on Penn. Ball knocked out of bounds. And Bo Hunt, I want to talk to you about something we talked about in the open, which was the fact that Marian has to believe that it can beat Penn. So far, the foot seems to be on the gas.
Yeah, it definitely is at this point. And again, we talked about it, but it has to be 4 quarters. It can't go at halftime. There's still 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And assuming they hold this lead, they can't go into halftime and come out and be comfortable with that, because Penn's going to make the adjustments and they're going to be disciplined in the second half.
There's some of the high-low game we were talking about, Bob, and Jada Patton, the beneficiary of the bucket. She has 6.
Good move, got in the paint. Again, it's a 2-point shot, but those are the ones they were making early.
Remember, Marian made that run when Patton was in the locker room. Now she's back out there. Penn seems to be playing better. She's brought some energy out there. Here's Walsh with the left hand. It wouldn't go. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go off of Penn. It's Marian ball.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork as they provide components for the aerospace industry, as well as medical, automotive, military, and defense. IFT is excited about the future and very proud of its past, celebrating over 60 years of excellence. At IFT, quality is a way of life.
Kendall Bethel right down the lane, missed the layup, and an over-the-back foul against Hannah Birch. Well, the first half has been a showcase for Micaiah Porter of Marian, and the young lady wearing number 11 in white has put on a show here in the opening stanza.
Both teams with 12 rebounds in the ball game. Both teams about the same in turnovers with 8. Penn has 9.
Peyton Adkins with a runner that's short. And the rebound again to Porter with some big numbers here so far in the first half. Nevaeh Foster, and I would not be surprised if Steve Scott holds for the last shot here. Under 10 seconds, Foster begins the penetration down the lane. Birch underneath, an air ball. Patton comes the other way and just hit the front of the rim. So the first half comes to an end with Steve Scott's Marian Knights leading Penn by a count of 24-15 as the teams leave the court. Bo Hunt has Christy Ulrich.
Christy, you're able to cut the lead down to 9 going into half. What needs to happen in the second half with your team?
We got to make sure we're keeping our composure. We definitely lost that there in the second quarter. They changed defenses, and instead of using pass fakes, we threw the ball right into their hands. Taking those quick shots, those threes, not attacking them, allows them to push transition right back at us and kind of ram it down our throats. So we've got to be a little bit more patient and execute on offense, and we got to make sure that we're taking care of the ball.
Thanks, Christy.
All right, you're welcome.
Back to you guys.
Been a show by Micaiah Porter in the first half. The Marian forward with 13 points in the opening 2 quarters has her team up by 9 on Penn. Stick around. The Carl K. Memorial's halftime report and our TCU Student Athletes of the Week are next on the 46 Game of the Week.
And welcome back to Marian High School. We get a chance to visit with our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, with us from Marian High School is Hannah Birch. We'll talk to her in just a moment. Sydney Little is with us from Penn High School. And Sydney, you're the visitor tonight. But first of all, congratulations on all your success, not just in athletics, but certainly in the classroom.
Yeah, thank you. Like, this means a lot to be able to be given this award, and it's taken a lot of time in the classroom and off the court, on the court and off the court to get where I am now.
You're also involved, as you said, basketball. You're involved in track and field, so you're a busy lady. Really comes down to some time management issues, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I've learned over the years that it takes a lot of time management, and I've gotten a lot better at it this year than I have in past years.
So what's ahead for Sydney? What are your college plans?
I'm planning to go to college to study civil engineering and also play basketball. I haven't decided where I'm going yet, but there's a couple schools right now that are at the top of my list.
We always talk about if you have skill, you have a chance to go somewhere. If you have skills in classroom work, you got a chance to go anywhere. So we wish you the best of luck there.
Thank you.
Talk about who's been behind you, who's got your back growing up and as you get through your high school years.
Especially my parents, my sisters, and all my friends and my teammates.
That's a good list. You got to have a list this time of year. It's Christmas coming up. Congratulations. Good luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sydney Little from Penn High School, our student athlete of the week. And Hannah Birch is with us from Marian High School. And Hannah's got the big smile going because this is an exciting time. You're part of a good team here at Marian, but you've done a nice job. And talk about your involvement with basketball.
Well, I've been playing for a long time. It's always been a passion of mine that I just love doing. My dad used to play, and so he kind of introduced me to it, and it's just, I just like playing.
Well, you've battled through an injury as well, so you got an investment in this, and that's kind of the great thing about sports. You can reach down, set up a goal and reach it. And do you find that the discipline you have in basketball helps you in the classroom as well?
Yes. It takes a lot of hard work, I will admit, to try and play basketball and then also keep up my grades. It takes a lot of time management, mostly late nights, doing homework after practice, but I like school, I like basketball, so it's just something that I do.
What's ahead for you? What are your college plans?
I don't know what school I'm going to, but I'm planning on studying either political science or international affairs, hopefully in DC.
Wow, that's a great career choice. We wish you the best of luck with that. You've got people who've had your back as well. You mentioned your dad. Talk about your family and all the people that support you.
Oh, they support me so much. They're always at my games. I love seeing them here. My grandparents, my family, my sisters. It's just, they just love watching me play, and I love that they get to watch me.
That's great. We wish you the best. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
All right, Hannah Birch from Marian High School and Sydney Little from Penn High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
And this edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being sponsored in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Halftime here at Demetrius Jackson Court, and the Marian Knights on top of the Penn Lady Kingsmen by a count of 24-15. Chuck and Bob high above the fray. And a first half where Marian basically was able to do what it wanted to do.
Well, they made a big adjustment on defense. Christy Ulrich referred to that, and when they did that, Penn started settling for the three-point shots. They're just 1 out of 9 in the first half. Marian, meanwhile, got their big players on track. They were able to get to the basket. They got some good offensive rebounds, and there were some big plays in that first half, but Marian had most of them.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way in Mishawaka tonight, because Lauren Walsh was able to get Penn on the board first with a driving layup But then Micaiah Porter started getting open. First, she hit the three-pointer to give the Knights the lead, and then she would manage to work her way inside the paint, and Marian was on top in this one. Penn came back with Sydney Little hitting her only basket of the first half. Then Kendall Bethel started to get on track, and she might have been one of the key players for Marian in that first half with 7 points. Penn got a nice three here from Jesselyn Troy off the bench, but those were her only points of the first half. Meanwhile, Bethel was left wide open there, hit a big three-pointer. That seemed to get Marian going a little bit. Nevaeh Foster held to 2 points in the first half, but there were plenty of help from Porter, who had 13 in the stanza. One of the reasons the Knights are on top. And a look at the first half stats tells us what, partner?
Well, it tells you that the rebounds are about even, the turnovers are about even. The biggest number, the biggest difference, Marian's had 50% from the field, 27% for Penn. And again, all those three-pointers, you need to get back to working hard, get the ball inside, get those high percentage shots.
Poor shooting's been a bugaboo for the Lady Kingsmen all season long, but as you mentioned, and Christy Ulrich mentioned, it came down to shot selection. So can they work their way back? They've got it down to single digits, only trailing by 9, 24-15 here at the intermission. This has been the Carl K. Memorial's halftime report. Second half play-by-play from the Princess City comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. And a way of life for us is a Bill's Heating sideline report before the second half begins. Bo Hunt, what's Steve Scott have to say at the break?
I asked him about the second half adjustments, and Steve talked to me about leaving points on the floor. And he said, we're up 9 points, but we left a lot of points out there. He said, offensively, Penn does a great job of really forcing us into shots that we really don't want to take. And he goes, but we're shooting them. And he goes, we have to be a little bit more patient and take better shots because we left a lot of points out there.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that, Bo, because that's one of the things that Steve said before the game that surprised me a little bit. He's got a team that scores 64 points a game, and yet he felt like their offense really has not clicked at full tilt yet. And, Bob, that was somewhat evident in the first half by their shot selection.
Yeah, you know, they were a little impatient to begin with, but, you know, two ranked teams, very intense rivalry. Players know each other. They've been competing against each other for quite a while, especially with Jada Patton for Penn, the senior on the team. But it really was a question. They got a nice spark from Kendall Bethel in that first half. It really made a big difference.
So Penn starts the third quarter with the basketball. Third quarter brought to us by our friends at Wolverine Mutual Insurance. Jada Patton up top, working on Micaiah Porter. Lauren Walsh with a nice step move. Patton's baseline jumper is off the mark, but the rebound by Sydney Little is good. So Little, with her second basket of the night, trims the Marian lead to 7. And Penn will stay in that 2-3 zone. Foster shoots over the top and misses. Here's Jada Patton racing the other way. Patton in transition, threw it away. Peyton Adkins was out of bounds when she caught it. There's one where Jada may want to get a little more selfish and just take that to the hoop with that strong body of hers.
She does have that strength inside, and I'm sure during the course of the season she's run against taller players, but she is strong enough to get that ball on the backboard and get it in.
It's not exactly great size out there for Marian right now. Porter at 6 feet, but she wasn't in the picture for that one. Foster has been held to just 2 points tonight. Here's Bethel. Now Birch. Bethel open for three. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler, and Kendall Bethel's second three-pointer of the night gives her 10 points for the night, and that's the margin in this one. Patton slashing inside. Little couldn't control the pass, or she would have had a three-point shot. Instead, it's Adkins for three, and that's off the mark. Patton, a good offensive rebound. Hoover nearly threw it away. Patton from 15. She's got a nice shot. You can see why Kristen Wondrich wants her down at U of Indy. 8 points for Patton tonight. Porter looking to see what the play is here. Play as Porter takes it on in and draws a two-shot foul.
Marian High School students have many opportunities during their 4 years to take dual credit classes. Those account for both high school and college credit. The class of 2020 earned over 4,300 credits during their 4 years, and 95 students in that class received 15 credits or more, and that is at least one college semester's worth of credits. The best part is that the dual credit classes are offered at no additional cost to families. We invite you to learn more about our dual credit program by visiting our website, marianhs.org, and to discover the advantages of being a Knight.
You look at some of the dynamic scoring duos in the area. Of course, Mila Reynolds and Rashunda Jones at Washington, #1, but Foster and Porter right there at #2. And you might have seen that combination from South Central at #3. Satellites are 9-0 this year. They've got a nice team down there in Union Mills. Porter hit them both. 29-19 to score. Patton, nice pass down low to Hoover, but she threw it away instead of putting the shot up, and was fortunate it was knocked out of bounds by Marian. Sydney Little. Outside to Adkins. Now down low to Patton. She's just going to bowl her way down there, put the rebound up and in. Jada Patton now with 10, keeping Penn in it.
Christie's got to be really pleased with her performance so far tonight.
Peyton Rangel for three. It's good. Sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. Rangel's first three-pointer of the night causes Christy Elrich to take a timeout with 4:57 to go in the third. And Marian with a 32-21 lead on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and the 46 sports team. Reminder, we've got more high school basketball for you coming up with a midweek special next week as the Riley Wildcats head on over to Middlebury to take on Scott Radiker and Northridge. You can watch it on TV-46 on the live stream Tuesday night, or on Wednesday night at 9, Thursday afternoon at 2.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and so much more. Call us at 1-800-628-9922 or visit our email at sales@standrewscorp.com. If you have questions, our answer will always be yes.
Patton kicks it down to the baseline, and the jumper is good by Peyton Adkins. That's her first basket of the night. The 5'8" senior averages 5 points a game. So the lead at 9, just as it was at halftime. Porter needs somewhere to go. Foster there to bail her out. Nevaeh slicing through the lane for 2. Foster, who is committed to play at Western Kentucky, now has 4 tonight. Here's Patton going strong, but the teardrop won't go. Gets her own rebound, that won't go either. And finally, Foster collects the loose change. Rangel brings it back outside. Left-hand dribble. Here's Alexander. Bethel with a good move to get around Atkins for 2. Boy, she's been terrific tonight. Kendall Bethel with 12.
A nice clear out underneath, and she read it. Took off right to the basket. The only way she's going to get stopped was to be fouled.
Marian trying to get its first win ever in girls basketball against Penn, but the Kingsmen won't go gently as Lauren Walsh hits a 3, sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler.
Good rhythm to that possession for Penn.
Alexander guarded by Patton. Rangel for 3. Porter gets a big offensive rebound, and then a foul called on Jada Patton, her second. Take another look at the last 3-pointer here by Lauren Walsh. Just her 9th 3 of the year, but that was pure.
A lot of contact underneath that basket as that 3-pointer went up. 3 people went down. Patton with a 3rd foul.
Rangel lobs it in for Porter, and they're going to go right inside. But Patton comes away with a ricochet.
Jada having 3 fouls won't change what she does. She's very aggressive all the time.
Penn needs to find a way to put together a run here. Walsh with a great feed to Economou for the bucket and the lump. Julia Economou with her 2nd basket of the night, and she'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play. You get another look on the 46 Sports replay. Rangel went over the back for the foul, her first. And Economou, a 46% foul shooter at the line.
State Senator Ryan Mishler is a proud supporter of high school athletics and wants to wish the Kingsmen good luck in tonight's game. Go Lady Kingsmen from State Senator Ryan Mishler.
Economou, also an outstanding cross-country runner, member of the Student Leadership Council, and much like our crew, loves Chick-fil-A. She hit the free throw. Here's Alexander, misfires. Here comes Patton the other way. Penn trying to get back in this. Bobo to Walsh. Marian now in the 2-3 zone. Patton goes right into the teeth of it. Lost the handle. Here comes Foster the other way for Marian. Ahead to Bethel, and her great night continues. 14 for Kendall Bethel. That's her season high.
Pretty nice assist there on the way down the floor for the Marianites.
Penn had a chance to trim that lead to 4 or 5. Instead, it's back up to 9. Ball tipped into the backcourt. Troy, the freshman, and then over and back is called against the Lady Kingsmen.
Folks, TCU is a better banking experience for you, while you'll get the latest in technology, and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at tcunet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Anaya Taylor checks into the game for the first time tonight for the Lady Kingsmen. She wears 42. Here's Foster. Puts up a wild shot. It won't go. Economou lost the handle. And here's Alexander. Bethel will slow it down with 1:22 to go, 3rd quarter. Marian looking to go 9-2, get a win over a top 20 team, and knock off Penn for the first time in school history in girls basketball. Porter couldn't get it to drop. Taylor the rebound.
Tough night for Porter. That was a good shot.
Taylor nearly traveled, and now Foster takes the ball away. Economou recovers. Economou with a nice hesitation dribble, and a blocking foul is called on Marian.
Economou played a lot of minutes last year for Penn. She's a gifted player. She's a very talented and intense player. She's really starting to have an impact on tonight's game.
You don't expect that kind of ball handling from a 5'11" player, but Economou with a nice drive that time. And a whistle and an offensive foul called against Penn. Let's see who Savon Williams will put it on. It's going to go against Economou. That's her third. And Patton will check back into the game for Penn. Steve Scott's been holding for last shots of quarters here. And we'll see if that continues as the third begins to wind down. Kendall Bethel will handle it up top, working against Lauren Walsh. And Bethel had it knocked away and out of bounds.
Carl K. Memorials wants to wish the Marian Knights good luck in tonight's game and all season long. Have a great season of basketball. Go Knights. From Carl K. Memorials, because you care, we care.
Rangel triggers the inbound to Bethel. Now Foster. Foster found the cutting Alexander for two.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what can make Marian so effective. She had three people guarding her when she gave up the ball.
Penn comes the other way. Final 5 seconds of the third. Walsh, a deep three that's off the mark. And the Marian Lady Knights will take an 11-point lead to the third after three, thanks in part to three-point shooting. Kendall Bethel found the range. So too did Peyton Rangel. Lauren Walsh tried to answer for Penn, but it's Marian 40, Penn 29 after three on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. And we go downstairs from our perch to courtside, where Bo Hunt is standing by with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. Your thoughts on the third quarter, Bo?
Well, I think it was very important for Mary to come out and make a statement right away, and Rangel and Bethel with those two huge threes to start out that third quarter were really a statement saying that they're here ready to go. But the thing is, it's only 11 points at this point, so Penn still is in this game. If they work it inside, they do a much better job when they work it inside and work for that basket than they do from taking that quick three, guys. And
one thing we haven't seen Penn be able to do a lot of tonight is get to the foul line. That's usually where they've been able to bludgeon teams in the past.
It is, and check tonight so far, 3 out of 5 from the free throw line for Penn.
Nevaeh Foster tried to lob it to Porter, and Patton was right there to intercept, and Patton races the other way and draws the contact. So Jada Patton will go to the foul line. And you can't emphasize enough what Jada Patton means to this Penn team, because there you see her importance. Among the returning players, she had more points and experience coming back than almost the other 5 combined, even though she misses the free throw there.
So what do we figure that percentage was of their points from last year?
I didn't go back and add that up, but it's not much when you lose people like Trinity Clinton, who's at Loyola, and Caitlin Costner, who's at Ohio State. So she hits the second free throw. 1 of 2 at the stripe. Here's Patton coming the other way. Look at that move. And all the way in, was fouled on the way up by Rangel. Watch it again on the 46 replay. A nice little spin move to get around Foster, and then Rangel able to knock it down just enough. First free throw is up, no good. So Patton struggling a little bit at the line despite being a 74% free throw shooter.
He's been on the floor almost 100% of the time tonight, except for that brief break she had in the first half.
She'll get another chance to move it down to single digits. Got that one. 12 points now for Jada.
It's that intense full court pressure now for Penn.
Marian doing a good job of breaking it. Foster, a calming influence out there, 3-year starter.
Bethel's not only had a great game tonight scoring the basketball, but has handled a lot of that pressure as well. What a performance for her.
Here's Porter slicing through the lane. Got it to go. Nice move by Nakia Porter, who has 17 tonight. Economou. Now Patton directing traffic.
Third quarter, Penn was 6 of 11 from the field, only 1 out of 2 from three-point range, so they went back to the 2-point opportunities.
And Walsh will get a chance to go to the line with the clock stopped here. I assume that they're going to say she was in the act of shooting. The foul is called on Porter. That's her second. But no, they say that Walsh has to inbound it here. It's only the 15th foul on the Knights. Economou with a nice catch and a great move down the lane for 2. She has 7. She's played well coming in off the bench tonight. Junior only averages a couple points a game. At the other end, Rangel wide open for 3, but couldn't hit. And Economou with the rebound. Ahead to Troy. The freshman goes in strong, but is fouled on the floor. And we've seen Penn get much more aggressive of taking the ball to the basket here in the fourth quarter.
Rangel's 1 out of 5 from three-point range, and Chuck Derry say it, when you got a nice lead with 6 minutes to go in the ball game, maybe you don't need the 3 from the corner.
Timeout called with 6:09 to go. Marian still up by 9 on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by TCU, empowering members for 90 years, federally insured by the NCUA.
Folks, are you looking to join an extraordinary team, work hard, and have fun? Then you might be just the person to join the Chick-fil-A team. If you're looking for a job with competitive wages, complimentary meals, employee discounts, and provided team member uniforms, then stop into South Bend's Chick-fil-A and ask for an application, or go online at chickfil-a.com/South Bend. Chick-fil-A in South Bend looks forward to having you on their team. You can also call them at 574-968-0351. That's 574-968-0351. And Chuck just got some news in. There aren't any sandwiches left. The crew took care of business tonight.
Sad. Here's Economou on the inbounds pass for 2. Julia continues her solid night with a season-high 9. And Penn within 7 with 6 minutes to go. Foster outside to Bethel. She's been hot and stays there. The Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler sponsors the threes, and Kendall Bethel with 17 points. Jesselyn Troy with an answer. That's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler.
Here we go.
Troy with 6. And a travel called on Foster. Penn back in it, trailing by 7 with 5:28 left as you watch the Troy 3.
14 turnovers for Penn, 13 for Marian, but Penn now leading on the boards, 23-18.
Peyton Adkins finds Lauren Walsh. Economou attacking. but lost the handle. And Hoover wasn't looking for the pass from Atkins. It goes out of bounds.
Turnover number 15. State Senator Ryan Mishler is a proud supporter of high school athletics and wants to wish the Knights good luck in tonight's game. Go Marian Knights from State Senator Ryan Mishler.
You mentioned 15 turnovers for Penn. They only average 12 per game. Marian's going to have to hurry here, and they want to take a timeout. With 4:58 to go, Steve Scott will take a 30.
Folks, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family and that $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit the website at reshcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Take a look at that number, the active winning percentage by sport, and the fact that Christy Ulrich has an .879 winning percentage over 13 years. Bo, you were doing some research before the game. What was the number that you came up with about Christy's losses in the regular season?
Yeah, her tenure at Penn, she has not lost more than 4 games in a regular season, and that's only been twice in the 13 years that she's been a head coach here.
Amazing numbers that she has put up. I'm not sure she's often given the credit she deserves for how successful she's been. Foster for 3. That finds a home. It's sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. Neveo now with 7, and that one was huge. Julia Economou with a great drive and puts in 2 more. She has a career-high 11.
She might be seeing some more playing time in the future. She's looked really good tonight.
She's been confident going to the basket. Foster has confidence now, too. Sponsored by Indiana State Senator Ryan Mishler. And Foster into double figures now. And a timeout called by Penn with 3:52 to go. And Kendall Bethel's been putting on a show tonight for the Marian Knights. She has 17, and Bob, much of it's been done from outside the arc.
Well, she's been a big asset for Marian tonight. Folks, St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high school, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. We're proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course up in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission and providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com, where your expectations become our standards.
Sunday, it's a bounce-back Big Ten doubleheader for Indiana and Purdue. The Hoosiers trying to come back from that horrific loss in Madison the other night. Will take on Merrimack at Assembly Hall. We'll have it for you at noon. And then Purdue was ranked number 1. They won't be next week after losing to Rutgers last night, but they want to avoid 2 losses in a row when they take on North Carolina State in Brooklyn. You can hear that one right after the IU game at 2 on 103.1 FM.
Christensen's Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style, and they're ready to help you pick out that special Christmas gift.
Penn trailing by 11 with 3:37 and counting. Jada Patton up top. And Penn just not able to get anybody open against the sticky man-to-man defense by Marian. Finally, Economou gets ahead of steam, but was off the mark on the shot. And we've got a foul called. I think Atkins went over the back. Her first.
Hardware Plus is a proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
Now let's see if Marian tries to work clock or continues to run its offense here in the final 3 minutes. Porter dribbling outside. Porter down the lane, draws contact, and she'll go to the line for two, sponsored by Christensen Furniture.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFT, we're like the teams in the game tonight, working toward a great finish.
And a timeout called by Penn with 2:50 to go, and we'll keep it right here. A terrific performance by the Marian Knights tonight, especially, well, Micaiah Porter leading the way with 18, but been so impressed with the play of Kendall Bethel tonight and how she has handled not only the shooting, hitting 3 3-pointers, but you mentioned her ball handling against the pressure.
Yeah, and I loved what she did in the transition as well. When the defense was collapsing on Porter and Foster, she got ahead of the play, got a bounce pass for an easy layup. She's just doing so many good things tonight, and Marian is going to have that if they're going to, you know, compete at a higher level, and they certainly want to do that this year. Partner, we have really been blessed. You know, we're picking up our schedule 2 games in a week. We've seen some outstanding games, outstanding talent.
Indeed, and you see our officials tonight. That's Mark Kenyon working with Savon Williams and David Wolford. We hadn't identified them yet, but tell you what, this crew working hard, but they could use some help. And I realize the fans in the stands are often willing to give them help, but we're talking about people who are actually licensed officials. There's a huge need for more of those in just about every sport in the IHSAA. So contact your local officials organization and see how you can help. Porter, the second of a 1-and-1 hits. She now has 19 for the game. And the Marian lead at its biggest, 13 points. Lauren Walsh got tied up by Bethel, but a foul is called underneath.
I think that's number 1 on Bethel.
Her second, actually.
Second?
Good. She will tell you that she's innocent.
Yeah.
And Steve Scott says, don't worry about it. Lauren Walsh at the line misses the front end of the 2-shot foul. Walsh, a 56% foul shooter. That's her first free throw she's shot since November 16th. She makes the second. And it's 53-41. Foster handles up top for Marian. The Knights 2.5 minutes away from making history. And a foul called as Porter tried to drive on Patton. That's only the 6th foul on Penn, so Marian will have to inbound.
Well, that is number 4 on Jada Patton. Folks, State Senator Ryan Mishler is a proud supporter of high school athletics and wants to wish the Kingsmen good luck in tonight's game. Go Lady Kingsmen from State Senator Ryan Mishler.
Ball knocked away, but Alexander recovered. Here's Bethel for 3. Not that time, and the rebound comes to Walsh. Economou on the wing. Misty Ulrich employing her team. They got to hurry it up. Patton down the lane for 2. Jada with 14. Her 4th straight game in double figures.
Bethel missed that last 3-pointer. His first shot she'd missed. She had 4 in a row.
Marian taking its time, breaking this press. Now Penn looking for a steal. They knock it out of bounds.
Sideline was helpful to Penn right there, but they weren't able to get the turnover.
Marian up by 10. Porter and Bethel playing catch on the outside.
Nice look.
Foster's a good foul shooter too. Porter finally fouled by Economou, and that's her 4th.
Yeah, not much of an option anymore for Penn. They've got to get after him. And
Porter's been pretty good at the foul line tonight.
Been a pretty good effort by both teams. We've seen a lot of energy expelled out there on the floor. Porter now with a chance to go back to the line, but she's been okay tonight.
5 out of 7. 5 out of 8. Troy with the rebound. She tried to throw it ahead. Alexander didn't get to it. It went out of bounds off Penn.
16 turnovers for Penn. They are leading on the boards, which we kind of expected with a little more size in there from Hoover.
Here's Patton with the steal, and she got the bucket and the bump. And Steve Scott saying, why in the world are we fouling? Let me have a timeout to talk to my team. You'll get another look here as Patton now with 16. And we'll keep it right here with 1:07 to go, and Penn now trailing by 8.
Rangel with her 4th personal foul. Good crowd on hand here tonight, and everybody kind of quieted down the last couple of minutes because they thought Marian maybe was going to run away with this one, but Penn refuses to go easily.
Reminder, we have more high school basketball coming up for you. Our midweek games continue when we go over to Middlebury on Tuesday night for Riley at Northridge. You can watch us live stream it on Facebook at about 7:30 Tuesday night, or you can catch it on TV-46 Wednesday night at 9 or Thursday afternoon at 2. Riley in a bit of a funk right now, and Northridge, Scott Radiker's team in game number 2 of the season last night, hit, I believe, a dozen three-pointers in a win over East Noble.
Yeah, Riley's one of those teams that's still looking for maybe an additional player or two to step up and become part of the offense. They've got some talent on that team, and they can hit the boards and they can play defense, and see if they can find more scoring.
Well, and they've played 2 of the better teams in the NIC. They already lost to Marian, and then John Glenn, undefeated so far. Travis Hanna's got a nice team down there in Walkerton. Here's Patton going to the line, looking for her 17th point of the night.
She's worked hard for all 17 of them.
By no means has this been a gimme for Marian tonight, even though they've led almost throughout. 53-46, more pressure and a foul call. If it's on Patton, that's her 5th. And it is. So Jada will foul out with 17 points tonight, leading the team. Lainey Creech will check in for Penn.
Well, when you go to the bench, you go to the locker room after the game, you want to be able to say, I left it all on the floor, and I think Jada can certainly say that. She was terrific tonight.
Meanwhile, Nevaeh Foster misses the free throw, but Micaiah Porter, a big offensive rebound for Marian. And Porter is fouled from behind by Economou. That'll be her 5th. And Julia fouls out with a season high, a career high, 11 points. So Peyton Adkins will take her place. The bigs for Penn played fairly well, especially in the second half. Meanwhile, Porter got that free throw to drop. Micaiah with 20 tonight.
Nice job in the second half by Foster, who was a little stymied in that first half. She's got 8 here in the second half.
Short on the free throw, the rebound to Troy. Troy raced up the floor, but there was nobody behind her to recover the loose ball. Marian keeps looking up at the clock, thinking that time is just crawling here. And for Penn, it's evaporating quickly.
17 turnovers for the Lady Kingsmen. Marian with 14.
Rangel to Foster. Foster got through the trap. Finds Rangel in the corner. And Penn needs to foul. They've got Foster double team, but there's Bethel. And the Marian Knights look as though they're going to go to 9-2. Finally, Marian makes a mistake here in an over and back. But precious seconds went off the clock there for Penn.
Well, this one will mean a lot to the Marian program. Steve Scott.
The first time they will have ever beaten Penn in girls basketball. Troy dumps it off. Atkins lost the handle. It went out of bounds. Penn will retain possession with 2.5 seconds left. And Steve Scott smacking fives on the Marian bench. The Marian crowd starts to come to its feet. They can finally believe it. It has happened. A foul is called, though, with 0.2 seconds left to send Laney Creech to the line. For each a lacrosse player at Penn.
She has a chance to get on the scoreboard here with 0.2 seconds left to go.
Missed the first. That's her first miss at the foul line this season. She writes for the pennant. She will not want to write this game story. And it's all over as the Marian Knights have vanquished the Penn Lady Kingsmen for the first time in school history. The final score, Marian 54, Penn 47. When we come back, we'll have our post-game coverage, including our player of the game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
All right, whenever you guys are ready. Standing by with our player of the game, Kendall Bethel. First off, 17 points tonight, one below your career high. Just talk about this victory tonight.
It means the world to me. It's my senior year. I'm just happy to be able to get this win.
First time Marian Knights have ever beat Penn in women's basketball. What does this mean to this program and you as personally?
It means everything. I'm glad we can make history, and I'm glad that to play with my teammates.
Yeah, and talk about your teammates. You got Porter and Foster out there. You guys have a lot of talent on this team. Just talk about your other teammates.
I love playing with them. I know that they can score. They can do so much for me. I'm just glad we have great team chemistry and be able to help each other.
One last one. Coming out of halftime, you had a big three that really put you guys up. Just talk about your three-point shooting and how confident you are out there.
Well, my coach, everybody tells me to shoot, and so I was just like, okay, I'll shoot.
Sounds great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. Thanks.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV-46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
Still buzzing here in the Marian gym at Demetrius Jackson Court as the Marian Lady Knights make history, knocking off Penn for the first time in school history with a 54-47 triumph tonight. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray, and Christy Ulrich mentioned at halftime the poise for her team lacking in the first half. I thought Marian did a great job of keeping its poise in the second half, especially down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree with your partner, and they've got two Division I players on this team, and you're always counting on them. But again, it was the support crew that came through, and I think you got to give Steve Scott a special mention too, because he changed that defense up on Penn in the second quarter. They went to the three-point shot, weren't able to hit them. They had good looks, but just couldn't hit the three-point. That's been their problem all year, is shooting the basketball. But boy, their intensity and their defensive pressure was really good tonight.
Micaiah Porter had 20 tonight to lead Marian, but our player of the game was that unsung hero from the supporting cast that Bob was talking about. She's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Kendall Bethel. First off, 17 points tonight, one below your career high. Just talk about this victory tonight.
It means the world to me. It's my senior year. I'm just happy to be able to get this win.
First time Marian Knights have ever beat Penn in women's basketball. What does this mean to this program and you as personally?
It means everything. I'm glad we can make history, and I'm glad that to play with my teammates.
Yeah, and talk about your teammates. You got Porter and Foster out there. You guys have a lot of talent on this team. And just talk about your other teammates.
I love playing with them. I know that they can score. They can do so much for me. I'm just glad we have great team chemistry and be able to help each other.
One last one. Coming out of halftime, you had a big three that really put you guys up. Just talk about your three-point shooting and how confident you are out there.
Well, my coach, everybody tells me to shoot, and so I was just like, okay, I'll shoot.
Sounds great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
You know, they never told us that.
No, no. But shoot, she did a good job.
She did. She was money from three-point land tonight. And so Marian now 9-2 on the season. Steve Scott's team gets a big win tonight. They're on a little bit of a roll. Penn doesn't have a whole lot of time to figure it out. They're 7-4, and they face a solid Merrillville squad on Saturday.
Got a good game from Economou tonight, which is very important to them. Marian did a good job getting out on the guards, especially in the three-point. They did have some three-point shots that were open, but Marian did a good job of denying, and the rebounding favored Penn, but the turnovers also favor the Lady Kingsmen.
Well, our thanks to our TV-46 crew who helped bring you this one tonight, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo. A reminder that we have college basketball on the radio this weekend with Big Ten Action Sunday. Merrimack at Indiana Sunday at noon on 103.1 FM, and Purdue and North Carolina State Sunday at 2. And then there's high school basketball next week in the middle of the week, a boys game with Riley taking on Northridge over in Middlebury. We'll have it for you on the live stream Tuesday night at 7:30 and on TV-46 Wednesday night at 9 and Thursday afternoon at 2. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bo Hunt and Bob Nagel, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Marian 54, Penn 47. So long from the Princess City.